we're taking a look at the Safari Limited 2020 Concavenator. Now, this is actually Safari's second Concavenator they've ever made, because they made one back in, I think, 2011, I want to say, for the Carnegie collection, but this is the first time they've done one for the Wild Safari lineup, and it's one of actually the two Concavenator figures that I own, because I also own the Mattel Jurassic World Dino Rivals Concavenator. Now, this is one of the several figures that I was requested to review, and of the three I got, I have to say this one's probably my least favorite. I don't dislike this figure, but when I initially saw this figure, even I was a little apprehensive about buying it. I was like, well, maybe, but then someone requested that I buy it, and I thought, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. But yeah, I definitely have some apprehensions about this guy. He's not bad, but I'm just not the biggest fan of him. Now, Concavenator isn't a very common genus to get turned into toys, because Collecta has one, GeoWorld has one, but no one's ever going to buy a GeoWorld figure. And this is Safari's second one, but their first one is a little eh. But the one big thing is, I mentioned in my last review how Safari seems to have a bit of a problem with scaling, and this is a really big issue with this guy, because he's smaller than the Shringosaurus. Actually, hang on. I have a ruler right here. Let's see. The Shringosaurus comes in at about 6.5 inches. The Concavenator is about half an inch smaller. I don't know the exact size of Concavenator. I think it was one of the smaller Carcharodontosaurids. But I don't know. I really just kind of feel like this figure should be bigger than this. It's not bad, I guess, but just compared to some of the other figures Safari has released this year, this guy is kind of small and a little bit disappointing, to be honest. Coloration-wise, he's also, like, this dark brown doesn't necessarily look bad, but I really, really wish Safari would have varied up the colors a bit more this year. And I get that they're trying to be kind of conservative with those colorations to make sure that the figure isn't too outlandish looking, but it's just a little boring looking, I'm not gonna lie. I do like these stripes down the back, though. I think that's a nice touch. And the red eyes and the red crest are pretty nice, too. Accuracy-wise, I really can't see any problems with him, but my other problem with this guy is that he doesn't like to stand up too well. Now, he does stand a lot better than the Safari Limited 2020 Deinonychus, granted, but he also has a tendency to do that, where he leans to a side and ends up propping on his tail. Which is a bit of a problem for me personally. And also, I don't know whether or not this is something in the packaging, but I could have sworn the stock images had his tail out fully like extended and not like curving downwards. And just, I don't like the way the feet look. They're just off the ground a little bit awkwardly. But overall, this figure isn't awful. He's not very expensive. He's only around $10, which isn't very expensive for a Safari figure. But if you're not a big fan of how this guy looks, then I'd say skip him.